Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Sastry, you are
Yes,
audible.
sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Anyone
sir.
unmute your mic and say me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You are loud and clear, Sastry ji.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sastry ji, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Am I clear?
Yes, very
Yeah,
clear,
it's
Sastry
clear,
Yes,
ji.
sir.
Khalid, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Sastry ji.
I'm not able to hear you.
I can hear you very loud and clear. Can everybody else hear me too?
Can anyone speak?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Sir, we can hear you.
I'm not able to hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes,
Sir.
we can
Yes,
hear
sir.
you.
Now it is clear. Yeah, it's clear. Yeah. So, Walid, can you manage the hosting, co-hosting?
Yes, I've been admitting people as they come into the waiting room.
Yeah, you admit it. Entered in my lectures, right?
Which of the lectures, Sastry ji?
I'll go to introduction to neuroanatomy. Huh?
Okay, let me.
Can you record and then you put in Zoom or YouTube and then give them the link, right?
Okay, Sastry ji. Okay, you have already got the notes open.
So you please add them, what do you call? You keep adding, I won't concentrate on that. And
You concentrate on the notes, I'll concentrate on the people coming in.
yeah, and then also concentrate on recording, right?
Okay, Sastry ji.
So this MK Sastry, we have already gone through various activities of the brain yesterday. It was a orientation class. Very much important is to know about the anatomy of the brain. Even a neurosurgeon who compels himself, who, who thinks himself to be who wants to grow as a good surgeon, he must be a very active part in the neuroanatomy. Any part is what to respect the anatomy. You must know the anatomy of that area. If you don't know the anatomy, you don't know the physiology, how it works, where it works, you don't know. It's just like a train. It's not even a train. You don't know where you are going, what to do, where to do, what is it is. So the questions are very simple. What are you looking for? What do you want to learn? And how you want to learn? All these things are there. You understand? So today we'll be teaching you a very simple part of neuroanatomy. And it's a very good, interesting topic. So this is the brain, you can see. A beautiful part of the brain extended with the spinal cord. This is the extension of the spinal cord. This is the cerebellum. This is the cerebral cortex. Right? The introduction to neuroanatomy provides a look at the major structures of the human brain. It will explore each major region of the brain as well as the brain coverings blood supply, and the ventricular system. So what are the, we are going to, the objective of the slide is to understand the major areas of the brain, the coverings of the brain, the blood supply, the ventricular system, and we hope this presentation proves interesting and informative. Please feel free to relay any questions, comments, or suggestions you may have. Thank you, and this is your MK Sastry, visiting professor, Zimbabwe University, and we'll be talking about the neuroanatomy, which is most important part of the life. So the subjects and brain regions will be covered as the brain surfaces, directional terminology and places of section, the division of the brains, the meninges, the brain's coverings, the cerebral cortex, hippocampus, the amygdala, the styria, the thalamus, the hypothalamus, the cerebellum, and the brainstem. So this is what we are going to study today. So now when we see, this is the lateral part of the so this is the lateral part. What we you see? This is the lateral part, and inside is the anterior part. So this is the anterior part, and this below is the posterior. The front is the anterior, posterior, and this too is the lateral part. So generally we write epilateral. So here you will see the anterior, posterior, epilateral. Clear? Ventral view of a human brain, this anterior view, and this is the lateral view. So if you see the brain from the outside, like this view you have seen. Now from this side, if you see, this is the view of the brain. Clear? So this is the view of the brain. Brain has two views, like this, and the internal area. So we will be covering all the entire area of the brain origin, right? So that you may admit, you will be happy to reciprocate that when you see an MRI, when you see any conditions of the brain, you will be analyzed what is the problem going on, how this problem started, and where are we, and how are we, and where are we reaching. So that part we have to understand here. And you will be love to know that the brain has 100 million neurons, 1.4 kgs, and it does marvelous work with 100 million neurons. More than thousands of trillion synaptic connections are there. So one by one, we'll know about very beautiful origin of the brain, which speaks about the various connections, interconnections, synaptic connections, and interneuron connection, interneural pathway. And when we will see about the pathways of the brain, you will really in love with it. This is very beautiful subject, I tell you. Knowing more about the brain is to know more about it. I have spoken 100 times in this lecture, and even I feel today, I want to learn more and more, higher and higher, and go better and better. So you see the ventral view of the brain. So this is the lateral part. The what you have seen earlier, the anterior part, now you are seeing the ventral part. So this is the anterior, this is the ventral, the inside part, you see. From here, what you see is cerebral area. Now inside, if you see, these are the areas which you will see. So we will classify this. So you will see the medial view of the remote brain. So now this is the medial view. So this is the dorsal area, this is the anterior area, and the lower part is called the ventral area. Dorsal, top is the dorsal, down is the ventral, and the two ends are called anterior and posterior. So this is the posterior. This area is the posterior. This is the anterior. So how will you recognize it? You see the mouth of the cingulate sulcus, gyrus, this area. So what will you see? The mouth towards the posterior, the back is towards the anterior, up is dorsal, lower is ventral. So when you see this area, you understand it is ventral. This is the cerebellum area. This is the fourth ventricle you can see, right? So now again you see lateral view from the left half of the brain. So now it is the left half of the brain. So from the lateral view, if you see from the left half, you see this is the anterior, this is the dorsal, this is the posterior and ventral. So earlier you have seen the right view of the brain, now you are seeing the left view of the brain. So now upper is dorsal, lower is ventral, left is anterior, right is posterior. If you see in this side, the anterior will come on the right, posterior will go on the left. So that was the anterior posterior view. This is the lateral view of the brain. So when you see the lateral view, the posterior on the right side to your right, and when you see lateral view of the right half brain, you will see posterior on the other side. So it's left, so it is your right. It's the posterior, left is the anterior. Upper is the dorsal, lower is the ventral. Right? Am I clear to all of you, or am I speaking too fast?
Clear, sir.
So now you can see the summary of the directional of the terms. Very beautiful you can see. So this is the dorsal area, right? This is anterior, this is the rostral area. This is the lateral area. This is the ventral part, the inner area. The posterior and the medial, the inner area. The lateral inner area. So these are the very directional terms. These are the terms which you will be accompanying during the whole journey of the neuroanatomy, right? What you will accompany, this will you will accompany during the whole anatomy of the human brain. So when you analyze the human brain, it will be very easy for you to understand non-invasive brain stimulation, how to work on the stroke patients. It becomes very easy for everything. Only what is the matter is how much you can learn. So when we see, we give a coronal cut. So if we cut it like this, the brain, you will see the brain inner structure like this, right? If you slice the brain like this, you will see it like this. But if you cut it from the sagittal cut, this is called the sagittal cut, right? What do you call? Sagittal cut. So the view of the brain in the sagittal cut will be like this. And this from left to right if you cut, or right to left if you cut, it is called the horizontal cut. So inner view of the brain will be like this. So we will see three parts. First of all, what we saw, dorsal. So from when you cut from the dorsal, this is anterior, this is the lateral, this is the medial, this is the posterior, and this is the ventral, right? The posterior is also called the caudal, and the anterior is also called the rostral, right?
Mawa.
So what did you see? Now what do you see in those two slides? From the dorsal area, if you cut, this is a dorsal area, right? If you cut, what will get? It is called the sagittal cut. What it is called? The sagittal cut. So if this is the sagittal cut. So it is taught in a neuroanatomy lab. In the cadaver lab, we teach you how to cut the brain. So if you accompany me to Karat, we'll show you the dissection and the nerves of the brain. We'll show you how to dissect the brain, and we'll show you the cadaver, human cadaver. You will be able to see all the nerves and the different way of cutting the brain. Right? Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is called the horizontal cut. So you cut it like this. So it is called horizontal cut. So in horizontal cut, you'll get this view of the brain. You'll feel really interesting when you dissect the brain in the cadaver lab. When you see a neurosurgeon, Hyperion, dissecting the turtle brain from the cranial region to inner region, and when you take out the brain and then you dissect it, we'll request Dr. Cherian to do it for us. So all those who are sincere students will take them to Karat and will see the dissection of the lab. We'll arrange a cadaver for them and we will see how to cut the brain. So this is a cornal cut. You can see. This is a cornal cut. This is a sagittal cut. And this is the horizontal cut. So these views are important when you study the kernel cut, the sagittal cut, the horizontal cut. From here comes the diagnosis of the brain. Because all these views we take from the brain, from different areas of the brain, that is we call all cuts of the brain are observed. And from there we diagnose where is the disease, what is the disease, and then on you can understand. So the basics are this. If your basics are strong, no one can move your temple. But if your basics are weak, your house will fall down with the first ray of the sun. Any wind will come, you will fall down. So now it is called the oblique cut. On the left, we made a cut from the central cortex down through the brainstem. So this is the brainstem, and we took this cut like this, oblique cut from the brainstem. You see, this is called the brainstem, and we have taken a cut from the brainstem. So if you cut this from the brainstem, we can see the fiber pathways, and among other things, carry motor commands down through the brainstem to the spinal cord. So you will see this is a motor command pathway. From here comes the motor command pathway, how your hands and legs are moving. So when you cut this from when you give an oblique cut from the brainstem, this is what? This is a brainstem. If you give an oblique cut from the brainstem, you will see what? The fiber pathway, which carries the motor commands. What it carries? The motor commands.
Motor commands.
So from this, from this view, we can understand whatever has been taught in Chinese scalp acupuncture cannot be proven. Whatever they are saying is not correct because the anatomy of the brain does not believe on that structure. Even if you go for NRTCM, because I have done my fellowship in NCTCM, electrodiagnostic medicine and neuroanatomy. From there, you can understand that this is not truly correct. And so when you understand the neuroanatomy, you can understand the magnetic waves can change the anatomy of the brain. The structural inner structures and neurons can be mobilized for a better purposes and for bringing a better connectivity, better synaptic connectivity. So you will understand what the synapse, the gap between the two neurons, how you can bring a very good connections between the two neurons, how they perform, what is their performance level, and when you can learn all these things, recovering paralysis becomes very easy because when you have a good tools in your hand, for example, spinal surgery. So can you tell me how long a spine surgery takes place? Can anyone tell me? I have a slip disc L4, L5. So what is the time of surgery we will take place? Will anyone in the audience will like to speak to me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What will the time you will take to do the spine surgery?
It will take 2 to 3 hours.
Yes. Huh?
But sir, it depends on approach also, no, which approach they are taking. Surgeon also.
Ankit. Now, if I say I need to do fusion from L3 to L5,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, sir.
There is a scoliotic correction.
Hmm.
How much time will you like to do for this surgery? Which kind of approach will you take and what kind of time will you take? I'm asking that time.
So fusion, it will take, I think, 2 to 3 hours. It will take, sir.
2 to 3 hours. Okay, let us give you a challenge. I'll bring Varun Agarwal from MJP Royalkhand University, Bareilly. We'll take a Cambian triangle, transcambian triangle, a safe window in a local anesthesia of linocaine. We'll finish the surgery in 30 minutes or 20
Oh.
minutes with fusion. And patient can immediately walk back to his.
But
After
Cambian,
20 minutes, patient is going home.
but by Cambian triangle approach, yes, we can do it. There
Cambian
are two
triangle
subjects.
approach. Yeah, it is called olive approach. What it is called?
Olive.
Olive. Yeah. You are speaking about T-leaf.
Yes, sir.
Translateral
Translate.
interfusion, right? Yeah, yeah. But I am speaking about oblique.
Oblique approach, yes, sir. Oblique lateral.
Yeah, oblique approach. Here the surgery is the pathway is a Cambian triangle. You insert from the Cambian triangle. It's a very safe passage. There is no blood loss. There is nothing. And the surgery is just completed with discectomy and fusion. The surgery is completed in how many minutes? 15 minutes. But if you see Dr. Atul Goyal's theory and research paper, he makes a correction of the antroaxial collection. And you'll see he never does any decompressive keratotomy or sorry, decompressive discectomy, laminectomy, or fusions. He corrects the location, skeletal corrections he makes, and you will see you don't need a surgery of corrections. So there are many approaches, many understanding, but if your basics are correct, you will reach, you will not be in trouble. But if your basics are wrong, you will land in trouble. So that is why I say, whenever you have a trouble, always learn the basics. And if your basics are correct, for reading an MRI, you will only take 10 minutes. You don't need a big explanation in reading MRI. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So from brainstem to oblique, if you cut, you can see the motor pathway of the brain. So I will be happy to invite you to Karat. We'll choose place. First, we have to be 300 people. So among this, we will go 50 in zones. So each month, 50 people will go, but you have to be corrected so that we can go to the cadaver lab. We will organize there in cadaver workshop in Karat. And there you can see how the brain is dissected, how the spine is dissected. You can see the entire anatomy, the disc, the muscles, muscle by muscle, disc by disc, nerve by nerve. You can entirely see in the cadaver lab.
Okay, sir.
So that will be a very interesting part to see things in the cadaver lab, right?
Okay.
Now, the first picture, the two cerebral hemispheres are seen in from a dorsal view of the brain. So as we see the 7 pictures, we can divide the brain up in various ways. Second picture, the cerebellum, the forebrain and the brainstem and the hindbrain from a ventral view. So in the second picture, what we saw was the cerebellum, it is called the forebrain, the brainstem, the lower part, and a ventral view. So we can divide the cerebellum and the brainstem from a ventral view. Third picture is dividing the whole brain into a half brain. So we divided the brain into two half. From the longitudinal fissure, you can say we did this cuts. You have seen the cuts, na? Sagittal cut, coronal cut. So if you see, this is the cut. This is a longitudinal fissure, right? You gave a cut. So now the brain is divided into two parts. It is right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. So the second picture will say the cerebellum and the brainstem from a ventral view. So now what is a ventral view? This is the ventral view, right? This is the ventral view. You got me? This is the ventral view. So this is the coronal cut, this is the sagittal cut, this is the horizontal cut, right? So on from the ventral view, the two cerebral hemispheres are seen in the dorsal view of the brain. The first picture you will see is the cut of the brain. So the left hemisphere, it is called the great longitudinal fissure. What it is called? The longitudinal fissure. It cuts the brain into two parts, the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. This is the basic thing. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So now you can see the ventral forebrain and the hindbrain. This is the ventral view of the brain. So here you have seen the ventral view. See, this is the ventral view. This is the ventral view of the brain, right? So from the ventral view, if you go, you see the cerebellum, right? Where is the cerebellum? This area. We have marked in the arrow, right? It's called the forebrain and the brain stem. So this is the brain stem, which you have seen the extended area of the spinal cord. Am I right, Ankit? Am I going wrong or am I right?
Sir. Right, sir.
Ankit?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
You are right. Right, sir. Right, sir.
My teaching formula is wrong or right? Is it
Sir,
correct?
right,
It
sir.
is
Right.
understandable?
Yes, sir. Clearly understand.
You are able to understand me or am I speaking to hi-fi things?
No, sir. We can easily understand you, sir.
I don't know whether because after a long time I'm back to a good teaching. I don't know whether still I am a good teacher or a hopeless teacher. That
No, sir.
rating has to be given by you. Am
Good
I
teaching.
having a 0 star or 5 star? I don't know. That you will decide.
So pictures are very good, na. So
Nowadays, now that the students have to decide whether teacher is good or bad. Teacher rating is gone. Teacher nowadays don't give marks. Students gives marks. You know that?
Yes, sir.
Those days are gone where teacher used to give marks. These days students gives the marks. My teacher is good or bad. So we are dependent on your marks. If you give good marks, we'll pass the exam. If you don't give us good marks, we'll fail the exams. So from the whole brain to half brain, you see, we cut the brain, right? This is the ventral view. This is the dorsal view. So we cut it. So after cutting the brain, this is the brain. We cut it. Now we see like this, right? We see, now we cut it like this. Khachak. Yeah, this is the mouse. So I cut like this. Toy. Oh, sorry. I also did with the mouse. I forgot the mouse is the operator. I cannot touch the mouse. It is the CPU now. So if you cut it like this, twing. So this is the brain. I cut twing. After doing twing, what will come? The lateral half of the brain. You see the beautiful part of the brain. So brain is so beautiful, but I don't know why you are not using it. That is why I call it duck brain. Use it, it will become a human brain. If you don't use it, you become a
Donkey brain.
I don't call it sheep brain, huh? Your wife will scold you. I think the husbands are here, wives are not there, right? Someone told me sheep brain. Be careful. Your wife will hear it and then she will say, ah.
Mm.
So this is the cerebral hemisphere and the brainstem. So you will see this is the brainstem, right? This area is called the brainstem. It is just adjacent to the cerebellum. So this is the cerebellum. This is the fourth ventricle, and this is the brainstem. This is called the hindbrain. What it is called?
Head brain.
Hindbrain. And this is called
Forebrain.
forebrain. Now this area is called what? It is something like an olive leaf. You see, it's an olive leaf, right? So it is called cerebellum. In between the cerebellum and the brainstem, you see the fourth ventricle.
Mm.
Did you see the fourth ventricle?
Mm.
So now you can see the most beautiful area of the brain. I love it. So I wanted to show you all these cuts practically so that you can understand it in the cadaver lab. I want to take all of you to Pune, Karat, and then I want to show you the cadaver of the lab. So in cadaver lab, you can see everything very nicely. The cerebellum is half brain with the brainstem removed. Now you can see, now the brainstem is removed from here. Here you can see in this picture, brainstem is there, right? So now this area we have removed. Which area? This area. So what did you see? When you remove this area, what did you see? This becomes like this. So cerebellum and brainstem. I'm also learning how to run the mouse. I will take 1 or 2 days to run the mouse. I'm very fast in running the mouse. So now you see, this is the brainstem. This is the cerebellum, the fourth ventricle. Now we are going to cut this area from here, right? So this area is going to be dissected. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Can you see the cursor?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So anyone is a butcher here who wants to cut the brain? All the butchers.
Mhm.
So after butchering that area, you get this shape. So now what we did, we removed the cerebellum and the brainstem. So this area of the you will get the central hemisphere is the half brain of the brainstem is removed. So this is the central brain of the brain. So this is the central half of the brain where there is no brainstem and cerebellum. So where is cerebellum? Do you see the cerebellum here? Any olive color structure? You see here? This is the cerebellum, right? And now we cut this area from here to here. So do you see any cerebellum here?
No, sir.
Do you see the brainstem? Do you see anything?
No, sir.
Do you, do you see? This is the cerebellum. See,
Mm.
this is the brainstem, right? We cut it from here, right?
Right.
So we cut it from here to ear. Clear? So after cutting, what did we get? The central half of the brain. Sunil is looking like that he wants to cook this brain. I don't know what he will do. Sunil, you want to eat this brain? Maybe we'll get some additional brain. We'll take you to karate and we'll cut the brain and give you to cook and eat. I don't like to eat. So here you will appreciate this picture where you will see the brain without the brain stem, and you will see Sunil light flashing like a what? अरे यार तो लाइट जलाओ या लाइट बंद करो, तुम्हारा लाइट बहुत फोकस कर रहा है. लाइट को बंद करो. Now what you see, the brain's informal divisions. So now we come to the informal divisions. There were the formal divisions. Now again we'll repeat certain things of the area. So how we'll see? This is a cerebral hemisphere, first area. What do you see? This is what? Cerebral hemisphere. So here you will see the brain structure, the like leaves-like structure. This is the leaves, right? So it is called what? Cerebellum. What it is called? Cerebellum. So in between the cerebellum and the brainstem is the fourth ventricle. This is the square, the triangular shape is the.
Fourth ventricle.
Here you can see the triangular shape, right?
Brain.
Here you will see the triangular shape, right? So it is called the fourth ventricle, right? And this is called the medulla. What it is called?
Medulla.
Medulla. Just below the cerebellum is the medulla. So now if you go adjacent to the medulla, you will get the pons and the midbrain. So now you can divide it into three parts: midbrain, pons, and medulla. Understood? What you will get? First is the midbrain, pons,
Medulla.
medulla. Medulla is just below the cerebellum. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So now you see the formal divisions. So tencephalon is called the end brain. What is called? End brain. So the diencephalon is called the interbrain. So this is called the interbrain. It is called interbrain. It's called diencephalon. The mesophalon is called the midbrain. So this is the area of the midbrain. So what comes in the midbrain? Pons and all, they come near the midbrain. So midbrain, pons, and medulla. Below the cerebellum is the medulla. Above the medulla is the pons. Above the medulla is the above the pons is the midbrain. Right? So now you see this is the diencephalon, this is the mencephalon, this is the metacephalon, and this is the mycephalon. So need not remember so much thing. This phalon, you will become cephalon. Now you see encephalon. So encephalon and procephalon, forebrain, cerebellum. So procephalon is the forebrain and the cerebellum. Tencephalon is the end brain. The cerebral hemispheres, cerebral cortex, white matter, basal ganglia contains, and it contains the lateral ventricles. So there are how many ventricles? Two lateral, third, and the fourth ventricle. Fourth ventricle, we have shown it in the cerebellum. It is between the cerebrum and the brainstem, right? The triangular structure. Just opposite to the cerebellum, the olive structure of the leaf, you will see. That adjacent to the olive structure, you will see a triangular structure. The triangular structure is called what? The fourth
Fourth ventricle.
ventricle. Yes. The diencephalon, that is the inner brain, is called the thalamus, the hypothalamus, and contains the third ventricle. So the tensorphalon contains the lateral ventricles, and the diencephalon contains the third ventricles. And the rhombocephalon contains the hindbrain, the midbrain. And mencephalon contains substantia nigra, the cerebral pendicle, and cerebral aqueduct. So cerebral aqueduct. What it contains? Cerebral aqueduct. अंकित तुम कंप्यूटर पे है ना मोबाइल पे है?
मोबाइल आया कंप्यूटर पे.
हाँ
कंप्यूटर पे हूँ सर.
मोबाइल पे है या उसमें है?
कंप्यूटर.
तो मैं एक काम करता, तुमको को होस्ट बना देता हूँ. हाँ, ये जो नया लोग आता है उसको एडमिट कर दो.
इनको क्या करना है? एडमिट करना है.
हाँ, जितना आदमी आ रहा है एडमिट कर दो. एडमिट करना आता है?
नहीं सर, बताओ मुझे किस तरीके से करना है. तो
ये देखो, तुमको दिखाई देगा तुम को होस्ट हो गया, राइट?
अच्छा.
अब तुमको दिखाई देगा कि ऑन द, तुम्हारा व्यू में पड़ेगा, दिखेगा पीपल आर ऑन द वेटिंग लिस्ट. क्लिक द वेटिंग लिस्ट and then you will find the option of admit it.
अच्छा, ठीक है.
So again I will repeat, encephalon is the procephalon is called the forebrain and the cerebellum, right? Tensorphalon is the end brain. Here you will see the cerebral hemisphere, the cerebral cortex, the white matter, the basal ganglia, and contains the lateral ventricles. So when you will see this structure, you will see it in the MRI cuts, right? So in the MRI cut, you will see all this area. The diencephalon is thalamus, the hypothalamus contains the third ventricle. So two lateral ventricles are in the tensorphalon, and in the diencephalon, you will see the third ventricle, and rhombocephalon, that is the brain stem, you will see the hindbrain, and it is called the mesophalon, that is the main brain. And in the midbrain, you will see substantia nigra, cerebral pendicle, and cerebral aqueduct. Now, can you tell me what is the importance of cerebral substantia nigra? Can you tell me, anyone, what is substantia nigra? What happens if there is a damage in substantia nigra?
Sir, Parkinson.
You all are very intelligent, more intelligent than me. So in substantia nigra, if there is a damage and degeneration, and wherever you see the atrophy of the brain, you will see the deficiency and reduction in the volume of the what?
Movements.
Certain hormones, which these hormones are called Parkinson's. That is called the dopamine hormones. So whenever you see a person on rest and his hands are moving, you call it what?
It is Parkinson, sir. Tremor.
Yes, very good. You all are very intelligent people. I never thought you are so intelligent. Yeah, better than me. You can take this class. I can take rest. Ankit,
हाँ जी
you
सर.
take the class. I will take rest. Class ले लो. हम सो जाता है.
So you take class.
You should participate in the class. Otherwise, people will think I become a schizophrenic. Sir is speaking to the computer. Already people tell me I'm mad. So now people will think me I became double mad. I'm speaking to the computer, they will say. So metacephalon is after brain and it contains what? Pons and cerebellum. So now you will see the pontine influx. So these pons and all, if they are damaged, the chances of getting recovery is very difficult. We'll see all these things in the circle of Willis. And when you see the circle of Willis, you'll understand how the ventral vascular circulation in the brain occurs, how the brain supplies are appeared. When you understand this brain supply and the geographical area of the brain, you can understand how infarct takes place, how brain stroke takes place, And then you can understand very easily how to recover all this area. So we have developed this instrument because right now there is no instrumentation for development of the brain stimulation. The brain stimulation can be done with the help of RTMS, NTMS, and the device which we have developed. So right now there is no device which develops the brain or which works with the brain. And those who are not knowing all these things, you cannot recover the brain. So any type of stroke you want to know, any type of neural disease, neurodegeneration, if you want to know, these are the basic things which you must study, and you must carry on with this. The password and this will be same every time. If anyone is asking any password and all, please pass them. This password will remain same for the whole year. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So myself, my mylencephalon, my mylencephalon is called the medulla, right? It's a medulla oblongata and the fourth ventricle. So we have seen the fourth ventricle there. Which is adjacent to the cerebellum. So the triangular structure which is adjacent to the cerebellum is the mycephalon and it is a medulla oblongata. So now you will come the dura mater. In Latin it is called the tough mother. This is as an indurable. The outermost and tough covering contains the venous sinus. So the outermost, which is the very tough covering, is called the dura mater. You will see pia mater, dura mater, aerocoid layer, subaerocoid space, and the pia mater. These are the most important anatomical locations of the coverings. So the dura mater is what? The tough mother and is outermost and very tough covering and contains the venous sinus. So what it contains? The venous sinus. The anechoid layer is spider-like layer and is the middle and thinner layer. The subarachnoid space contains cerebrospinal fluid and the blood vessels. So the subarachnoid space, you see, when we'll go with the G lymphatic system and all these things when we study, you'll understand how the fluid comes out from the brain to the spinal cord, and from the spinal cord it enters the So the anochroid layer is a spider-like layer, the middle and the thinner layer. The subarachnoid space contains the cerebrospinal fluid and the blood vessels. And the pia mater is called the innermost delicate covering. Then follows the counters of the brain closely. So the first is the tough matter. It protects the brain. It's called the dua mater. And the arachnoid layer is spider-like layer, which is the middle and the thinner layer. And the subarachnoid space is the cerebrospinal fluid. It's a space, right? So in this space, you will see the blood vessels and the cerebrospinal fluid, CSF. What will you see? The CSF. The innermost dedicated covering and follows the counters of the brain closely. So this is called the pia mater and it's a tender mother. And so now we see the dura mater. So it is an inner dura, middle meningeal anterior breast. So now you see, whenever there is a trauma injury, this meningeal area gets injured, right? So whenever there is a meningeal area gets injured, we have a TBI, called traumatic brain injury. And then various types of problems can affect inside the brain. So now you can understand, this is a frontal lobe. So how, if you want to understand the frontal lobe, move your hands like this, right? So this is the frontal, this is the, what? This is parietal, this is, so frontal is this. This is a parietal, this is the occipital, and this is a temporal. Frontal, this two finger frontal, This is parietal. The fingers you see here, the closed like eyes, is the occipital, and the thumb is the temporal lobe. Right? So here you see the frontal and the occipital lobe. You can see the posterior part is the occipital, the front anterior is the frontal lobe, the dura mater, the middle and inner dura you can see here. Now here you will see the middle meningeal artery. It's the most beautiful artery you can see coming out here. So whenever you have accident or any such issues, this area of the brain gets injured. So this is called the meningeal artery. So this is called the middle meningeal artery. That's projector is the presentation is already given to you. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, you can write down to me, and I'll give you the. So this is the middle meningeal artery. This is the superior sagittal sinus. This is the superior sagittal sinus. And this is the occipital lobe. So this occipital lobe helps you to see what? What is the role of the occipital lobe?
Vision.
Vision.
Yeah, very good. You all are very nice now. It is for vision. So now if you see, it's venous system. The dura mater and is venous system. So you will see the superior sagittal sinus over here. Can you see the superior sagittal sinus? So this is a transverse sinus. This is the occipital sinus. This is the confluence of the sinus. And this is the jugular bolts. These are the very important areas when we do brain surgery. When you will see live surgeries of the brain and the dissection of the brain in the cadaver lab, you will understand that how important is. Now you will say, I'm going from the superior sagittal sinus. This is the window of the brain. I'm going from here. Then I'm going to take the transverse sinus. The transverse sinus is from here. And this is the confluence of the sinuses. This area is the confluence of the sinus. So this is the transverse sinus. This is the superior sagittal sinus. So this area you can see is the sinus area. So it is called the superior sagittal sinus. This is the transverse sinus. This is the occipital sinus. This is the segment sinus. Below, just below, if you see the olive structure of coming out down here, and near the vent stream, you will see the segment sinus and the level of the foramen magnum. And this is the jugular bulb. So again, I repeat, it is very important to know the dura mater contains the venous sinuses. These spaces are which receive the venous blood and from veins during the brain which passes the blood to the internal jugular veins. So these are the areas from which the brain supplies occur. So these are venous sinuses. What it is called? These are the locations from where the blood supply enters the area, right? The venous blood, the vein from the internal jugular vein. So you can see how the brain, the venous system, the beautiful venous system occurs. And this venous system occurs from the sinuses. The first sinus is called what? Yes, what is called the first sinus? What is this? Ayo Rama. What is this? All are sleeping in the class. What is this?
Occipital lobe.
This occipital lobe.
This one.
We are speaking
Superior
about the
sagittal
sinus.
venous.
Superior sagittal
Superior
sinus.
sagittal sinus.
Superior sagittal
Superior
sinus.
sagittal sinus. It is called superior sagittal
Sinus.
This one is superior.
Yeah, it is a venous system. It is a venous sinus. From here, what you see, this receives the venous blood from the veins during the veins draining the brain. From the veins draining the brain, which passes the blood on the internal jugular veins. So first you have to understand the sinus. So this is the superior sagittal sinus. This is the transverse sinus. This is the occipital sinus, which is the occipital lobe. This is the segment sinus, which is near the brainstem, and this is the jugular bulb. You understood this?
Yes.
Suprasagittal
Yes, sir.
sinus. Second part is the transverse sinus.
Sagittal.
Third is the confluence of the sinuses. Segment sinus. Level of
Jugular
the formant sinum and the jugular.
below.
Bulb.
Jugular bulb.
Now, when you will come with me in the cadaver lab, you will say this is how we remove the cranial bone. So whenever you see they say TBI, so the cranial structure is removed, right? So after removing the cranial structure, this is how you see the brain. The skull is removed, right? Now you see this is the bone, the skull. Below the bone is a dura mater. Below is the superior sagittal sinus. This is the frontal lobe. This is a dura, this is aragonoid, and the occipital lobe. Here you will see the most interesting part. Just by identifying a certain location of the brain, and if you give impulses on the brain, you will see the recovery of the patient. That is what we call non-invasive brain stimulation. So when you want to learn non-invasive brain stimulation, if you want to master the what you call paralysis, if you want to master the neurological understanding, these are the most important thing you have to understand is the MRI of the brain. MRI speaks about the disease of the brain, and to understand the MRI, this anatomy is required. And to understand the deeper part of anatomy, again we will take another anatomy class tomorrow, and then you will understand more different parts of the brain. So here is the calcaneal fissure. We divide it from the other area, and this is the occipital lobe. This is the aragonoid. This is a dura mater. Here you can see the dura. Just below the bone is a dura. It is a tough matter, right? So here is the superior sagittal sinus. This one. This one. This is the superior sagittal sinus. And this you will see here. See. Can you see the suprasagittal sinus?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So this is what? Frontal lobe. This is dura mater. This is the aragonoid space. Right? This is the aragonoid.
Arachnoid space. Space.
And this is the occipital lobe. So now you can see the blood circulation goes through various sinuses. Superior sagittal sinus, transverse sinus, the occipital sinus, right? So this is how beautifully from the sinuses you go, the blood vessels goes inside the brain. You understood?
Yes, sir.
So this is the superior sagittal sinus, transverse sinus, segment sinus, occipital sinus, jugular bulb, and level of the
Foramen
foramen. So here you will see the bone.
Dura.
This is a dura.
Superior sinus.
This is superior sagittal sinus. This is a frontal lobe. This is a dura mater. This is aragonoid space, and this is the occipital lobe. The occipital lobe is divided by the calcaneal fissure. So frontal lobe, ventral sulcus, and frontal, parietal, and temporal lobe is divided by the Sylvian fissure, right? So there are four dissection. Central dissection is the central sulcus, This divides the frontal into parietal. Posterior dissection is the calcaneal fissure, and the ventral dissection is the sylvian fissure. That is the dissection in the lower area. This dissection of the brain, which will come in dissection of the brain of the cerebral cortex. The first area which we will recognize is the central sulcus. We divide the brain into frontal and parietal lobe. Then we'll divide into, if you go to the posterior part, we'll see the what? Occipital lobe. This occipital lobe is further divided into, is divided by calcaneal fissure, and from the calcaneal fissure you can understand the location of the occipital lobe, and from there you can understand how a beautiful area can take. Beneath the tumerometer lies the arachnoid layer, the including milky membrane through which one can see the cerebral cortex. Beneath the arachnoid lies the subarachnoid space, which contains the cerebrospinal fluid, blood vessels lying in the surface of the cerebral cortex. So here you can see very beautifully, you can see how the blood vessels are taking place, right? So through different sinuses, you will see how blood vessels takes place. Now, if I remove all the blood vessels, you'll got, what are this number called? Anyone can tell me what does this number means? What is this number?
Broadman's area.
Yeah, it is a Broadman's area. So every Broadman area signifies, yeah, it is a Broadman area. Every number signifies the location of the guidance. So the lines what you are seeing is called the sulcus, right? This line is called the sulcus, and the area which is going up where the numbers are given is called the guide, right? So what we have understood by now, the venous system, the sinuses, transverse sinus, the sagittal sinus, the occipital sinus, the cochlear sinus, right? Then these sinuses are used for the blood vascular system, is the venous system, which transfers the blood from the jugular veins. And from there, when you remove this, you get the Broadman area. Now, we remove these blood vessels. What did we get?
Sulcus and gyri, sir.
Yeah. And in sulcus and gyri, what did you see?
Broadman
Sir,
area.
what is this number? This given in this.
This number is given by a scientist called Broadman. He identified each area of the brain functions for what region. So according to the numbers, he allotted some numbers like 3, 4, 5. So 4 is the motor cortex, 5 is this, 3 is that, right?
Sir, where we get this number and identification? Is there a PPT or something is there, sir? This number
Huh?
how it is identified, sir.
See, we will go to the next lecture for that, right? But if you go to the Broadman area in the Google, if you type Broadman areas, you will see all these areas like Broadman area. If you see Wernicke's area, Broadman area, the motor cortex, the primary, the division of the sylvian fissure. So this is the temporal, this is the sylvian fissure, this is the temporal lobe, right? So certain areas in the temporal lobe are used for what? This is called the brain mapping actually. This is called the real brain mapping. So by understanding Broadman area, you can understand the real brain mapping. By stimulating certain brain areas, you can get what? Neuromuscular approach, the improvement on the vocal cord atrophy or vocal cord paralysis, and then you can also overcome paralysis to a great extent. Many types of deficits, including 256 type of deficits, can be managed by this. Now you will see the meninges. So this is the heart meter called durameter. This is the skull. Below the skull is the dura mater. This is what? The arachnoid layer, right? So the space between the pia mater and the arachnoid space is the subarachnoid space. So this is what? This is the arachnoid layer. First we see the dura mater. This is a hard layer. Then we see the arachnoid layer. This is what? Arachnoid layer. It's just like waves of the river. Below the arachnoid layer, you will see the subarachnoid space, and below the subarachnoid space, you will see the pia mater and the brain tissues and the blood vessels. So when we see the cross section of the meninges, so you will see the dura mater. First, you will come the skull bone, then you will come the dura mater, then you get the arachnoid layer, then you get the subarachnoid layer. In between the arachnoid and subarachnoid is the pia mater. Sorry, subarachnoid space, arachnoid and pia mater, it's a subarachnoid space. And then adjacent to it, you will see a simple layer of a biscuit type is called blood vessels. And then below it, if you see some cell type structure, it is called what?
Brain
Brain
tissue.
tissues. Am I clear? The dura mater, the arachnoid layer. Below the arachnoid layer is the pia mater. In between the arachnoid and pia is the subarachnoid space. Below the pia mater is the brain tissues, and in between them, in the subarachnoid space, you will see the blood vessels. Generally, infarct happens in these blood vessels. So you see brain stroke happens in these blood vessels, right? Am I clear up to now?
Yes, sir. Very much clear.
Yes, sir.
Now we come the surface of the cerebellum, right? So now we are coming again back to the basic anatomy structure. So what is called fissure? The lines which goes deep and long are called fissure. So now the brain is divided into two parts, right? So the lines which are short is called sulcus, like this, the central sulcus, the line which divides from the occipital to the parietal lobe is called the calcaneal sulcus or calcaneal fissure because it is deep and it is long in size. The shorter sizes are called sulcus, the longer sizes are called the fissures. They are long, light, and deep, right? Am I clear to you? What is fissure? Fissure is something, the lines.
Deep
You see
line.
the lines here are there, right? So these lines, which are deep in size, are called fissures. So the lobe, so now we take it here as central sulcus. So here the brain divides here. This is the occipital calcaneal fissure. This is the sylvian fissure. So this is called fissure because the lines are what? Deep. This is called the sulcus, which is the line of the brain. And this is the gyrus, which is, you can see the grooves. Right? These are called the grooves.
Sir, difference between sulcus and fissure, please.
The sulcus and
Fissure, sir, please.
the fissures are long and deep. Sulcus are not long. They are small in size. The central sulcus is short in size. The fissure you see. So now you see my brain. Can you see me? It is divided into two parts. You divide your brain into two parts. The line is big and deep, right? We have seen in the previous picture. So here you see. 1 minute. So this line which you see here is what? Long and deep, right?
Yes, sir.
Who asked me the question, name of the person?
This is Ganesh Shankar.
Shankar, did you ask me?
Yes, sir. It's me.
Shankar, you see, the line is long, right? And deep. So
Yes,
it is called what? Fissure. So this fissure is named as longitudinal fissure. It's called the great longitudinal fissure. But while you see these lines are short, right? This geographical, the borders are short, right?
Yeah.
The short borders are called
Sulcus.
sulcus. The
Sulcus.
long borders are called
Fissure.
fissures.
Features. All right.
Okay.
Am I clear now?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Or do you want more explanation from me?
No, sir. For now, it's
No, sir.
okay. We'll explore further. Thank you.
Yeah? On sulcus and gadi, you want more explanation? Or it is clear to everyone?
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir. Clear.
So my center circle is a fissure, no, sir? Center circle is
No,
bigger.
central sulcus, Baba. It is called central sulcus because it is short in size, right? Any line which is short in nature, you see, this is short in nature. This is short in nature, right? These are short structures, right? These are called sulcus.
Sir.
Right, sir.
But if you see, this is long in nature. It is called
Fissure.
Fissure.
So, sir, can we say fissures are very less numbers and the sulcus are more in numbers?
yeah. No. Fissures are less in number,
And sulcus
and
are,
sulcus are more in number.
No remember.
yeah. Is it right?
Yeah, you are right. How can you be wrong?
Thank you, sir. Just for understanding.
Yeah, you have to understand in your own way. Actually, it is very difficult to understand in one time. You have to revise it again and again. But if you revise for 3 or 4 days or 7 days, same slides again and again, you see, you can teach better than me. I assure you that. This is the metacephalon, pons and the cerebellum, and contains the fourth ventricle, right? And this is the mycephalon, it contains the meta oblongata and contains the fourth ventricle. So now we could see near the meta oblongata, there is a cerebellum, near the brainstem, just adjacent to the brainstem is olive structure, is the cerebellum. Near just adjacent to the medulla oblongata, you see a triangular structure, and that triangular structure is this one, what you call the fourth ventricle. This one. This is the cerebellum. This is the what? Medulla oblongata, and this is the fourth ventricle. What? Where is the medulla oblongata? This is the
Medulla oblongata.
yeah. Above the medulla oblongata is what?
Cerebral.
Pons.
Cerebral.
Pons.
Above the pons is what?
Midbrain.
Midbrain.
Yeah. So adjacent to the midbrain is the cerebellum.
Cerebral.
Cerebral.
1 minute. I have a phone call. Can I receive it? Just give me 1 minute. Hello. Hello. So this is the fourth ventricle. This is a triangular structure next to the cerebellum, right? Did you see the triangular structure?
Yes, sir. Fourth ventricle.
So first comes the medulla. Extension of the spinal cord is the medulla. Above medulla is the pons. Above pons is the midbrain. Clear? Next to the
Yes.
midbrain is the olive structure. It is the cerebellum. In between the cerebellum and the medulla is the what? Just adjacent to the pons. If you see, this is the pons and cerebellum, medulla. So adjacent to the medulla is what? Fourth ventricle.
Fourth ventricle.
Am I clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So mycephalon belongs to the medulla oblongata and contains the fourth ventricle. So here is the this area, mycephalon. See mycephalon, you have seen the mycephalon. It contains the medulla oblongata and the
Cerebellum. Pons.
what is this?
Brain.
What is this?
Medulla oblongata.
Cerebellum.
Fourth ventricle.
Cerebellum.
Fourth ventricle.
Fourth ventricle.
Fourth ventricle.
Is the space between the cerebellum, this olive structure. This is the pons.
Hmm.
This is the medulla. In between this is called the mesencephalon. The mesencephalon contains the medulla and the fourth ventricle.
Ventricle.
Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Am I clear or you are having still doubt?
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir. Yeah.
Clear, sir.
The brain. Okay.
So already I told you, this line which you see is what? The blue color line and the green color line. You see this line is dividing it, right?
Fissure.
This is not fissure, ma. It's a small line.
The small line is sulcus.
Yeah. Now from the temporal lobe, if you see this line is a longer line, right? Up to occipital lobe. So it is called what?
Fissure.
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 Right? So central sulcus divides the brain into two parts. Frontal lobe and
Central.
Parietal lobe.
Parietal
Yeah.
lobe.
yeah, this is called the calcaneal fissure. What it is called?
Calcaneus fissure.
So this divides the brain into further part. This is
Further.
called
Occipital and the parietal.
Occipital and parietal.
yeah. This is the occipital lobe. It divides it from the parietal and the temporal lobe.
And parietal.
Right? So now you can see the lateral sulcus, also called as the Sylvian fissure. So this is a temporal lobe. You can see this is a frontal, this is a parietal, this is occipital, and this is the temporal. Yeah, just below the occipital and just beneath the occipital, ekdam bagal mein. From the occipital to the temporal lobe is the, what is this? Pre-occipital
Occipital.
notch.
These occipital.
So now,
Preoccipital notch.
so now when you, now when you cut the brain, you will see this is the structure. So this is the limbic cortex. This is a cingulate sulcus. This is a parietal lobe. This is a frontal lobe. This is a olfactory bulb. This is a temporal lobe. So all the areas, now what you see here, after cutting the brain, you see, it becomes like this. That is a temporal lobe. The end of the temporal lobe is called the temporal pole. It's
Pole.
nearby the olfactory bulb. Right? If you see, if you come from the end, you'll see a new beginning is started. So it is called the pole. Pole means the beginning. Right? And this is a temporal bulb. So now you can see in the above images fresh and unfixed slices of brain. The gray matter has a reddish brown structure. Right? So where is the reddish brown structure? This. And white matter is white, but you can see.
Also cortex.
So now you can see there is a different, you will see white matter disease and gray matter disease. Now there's a conferences coming on gray matter and the white matter. It's a very big matter to be discussed. So now you will see this is the gray matter and the white matter. In MRI, you will see the gray matter degeneration. So we understand that the brain the cell bodies are getting, cell is getting damaged, and hello. So the gray matter is composed of the nerve cell bodies, the inner fibers, and the output fibers, the axons. So what are the gray matter? It's composed of the nerve cell bodies, right? And white matter is composed of the axons that coated with a protein called myelin sheath. So now you will see there are various diseases which happen inside the brain. It's called the demyelination. So when the demyelination happens, what happens? Your nerve cells stops transferring the signals inside the brain. So when it happens, stops transferring the signals inside the brain, what it happens? It is called demyelination. So when the signals are not transferred from one place to one place, that is called the membrane potential or the action potential does not take place, and the information from presynaptic neuron to the postsynaptic neuron does not take place, what will happen? The myelin sheath is damaged. And if the myelin sheath is damaged, you can understand there is severe degeneration inside the brain. Sometimes you will see gray matter and white matter are mixed together, and it is called the reticular formation of the brainstem. So brainstem is a very delicate area. And in one picture called Krantivir, it is a chota magaj. Chota magaj par nahi maarne ka hai kya? So brainstem is very delicate area, and chota magaj ko nahi maarne ka kya? आई शपथ मारेगा तो तुमको मारेगा. Krantivir, I think the movie is Krantivir. Long time back it was released. I think me and Mesharam were school college students when this movie was released. Right, Mesha? Ravindra?
Yes, sir.
When was this movie released? When was this movie released? Chota Magaj, Krantivir?
I think 2000.
When Nana Patekar was young person, now he became an old person. We also became old. We saw this movie in the young, and we are remembering this movie in our old age.
Yes.
Hey, who is drawing here? Who's the kid here who's spoiling my slides? Everybody you are drawing.
Sir, it is Abdul Malik's. His
Abdul Malik, don't draw.
annotate key is working. That's why the screen is disturbing.
Hey, don't draw Abdul Malik like this.
Abdul Malik, please.
Malik, remove all this stuff, whatever you have drawn. See, if you disturb my class, next time I will not allow you to enter my class. I'm very particular. We must enjoy the class. It's not disturb. You see what you have done with my screen. Clean it. Clean your stuff.
Please, Abdul Malik, you use the annotate key and remove the eraser button.
Good. Don't draw all this. When I'm taking the class, please be disciplined. You see what you have drawn, blue color, this color, that color. So this is called the gray matter, right? The brownish structure is called the gray matter, and this structure is called the white matter. Here you can see it. This is called the gray matter, and this is called the
White matter.
white matter.
White matter.
Sir, means circles is covered with the gray matter, sir.
Yeah, circles कहाँ से matter आ जाएगा? Circle is a line, Baba.
नहीं, okay. Because circles
Inside the
capital
circle,
जो है gray matter होगा,
circles is
sir.
the border. See. Circles is the border, like right? Inside the sulcus is the gray matter, white matter.
Okay.
Where is the cell? It is inside the line or inside the guide. The primary is the cells. The cell will be inside the guide or in the sulcus.
Inside the gyri.
हाँ, घर के अंदर तुमको प्रॉपर्टी मिलेगा या घर के रास्ते में प्रॉपर्टी मिलेगा?
और गायरी के अंदर मिलेगा.
Yes.
These are the houses of different locations. This location is divided 36 नंबर गली, 22 नंबर गली, तो 22 नंबर से 24 नंबर गली, 24 नंबर गली में 56 नंबर घर तुम्हारा है, तो 56 नंबर में Chetan Thakkar रहता है. The Chetan Thakkar stays in the 56 number house. So from there he starts barking, bo 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 bo. So that area is called what? Broadman area. So this Mesaram is fighting with boxing. It comes in the 3rd number house, divided by central sulcus. So the white matter and grey matter will be inside the guide or in the sulcus?
Gyri, sir.
Inside the gyri.
गायरी सर.
चलो, भगवान की कृपा से इतना तो समझ में आया. आज नहीं समझ में आता तो I would have committed suicide in the class. And I would have written a letter, because of you I am committing suicide. Now police will come and arrest you.
Understood.
I tell you, understand or I'm going to commit suicide. You see, I have a syringe here. I'm going to poke inside like this. Pop. You see, this is a syringe.
Understood, sir.
And then I'll write a letter with your name. You made me commit suicide. So now comes the cells of the cerebral cortex. The major area of the brain is the cerebral cortex. Right? The major area is what? The cerebral cortex. The nerve cells that communicate with other neurons by exciting them. So now what you see, this is called excitement, right? The excitement is called the channels. So these channels are attached to the neurons. These are called the sodium channel and the calcium channel. So inside this channel, you'll see the neurotransmitters. So whenever you give an impulse, for example, I inserted a needle over here and I communicated a signal inside the brain. This communication should be a proper communication. If your communication is proper, what will happen? You will enter, you will get a better system of understanding, right? So when you get a better system of understanding, what you will understand? Your communication improves. So by now your temperature of the brain also has gone high. The communication is very high. Each neuron is communicating with each neuron for learning process. It's called cognitive purpose. So you are learning all this thing with your highest ability. So you are using, these nerve cells are getting excited. And then they are communicated with other neurons. So these are called the principal neurons. Is the principal. These are the principal neurons. Like the principal of the college is the head of the department, right? Or the head of the department is the principal. So these are the principals. So now the in-between nerve cells that control the principal neurons are the interneurons. So now the head of the department controls the principal, right? It is not the principal which controls the department. It is the HOD which controls the department. So these are called the interneurons. This is the principal neuron, interneuron, and caudal rectus cells. So whenever you see various diseases, they are named after these cells. That this cell is damaged, these cells have become like this. In the MRI reports, in the various scans, you will see all these feelings. Because after all, what you have to find out, what has happened, gone in the brain so that he's having this disease. So you understand it only by one factor, that the cells are damaged. So when the cells are damaged, you understand what is happening inside the brain. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the time now?
9:36, sir.
So now they are the communicating in cells, and they are the supporting cells, right? What are called communicating cells and the supporting cells. What are they?
Supporting cells.
Yeah, the neuroglia that supports the neurons. The principal neurons are supported by the neuroglia. These are the peons and the clerks, but they are the cleaning parts. This helps and everything. So it controls the communication between neurons and synapse, right? It causes neurons and capital, produces glial limiting membrane to cover the brain, and produces a scaffolding guides the cortical development. The astrocytes, you have to remember this. It is a communication between the neurons and the synapse.
Yes.
Right? So just adjacent to the synapse, this is the gap,
Gap
right? In between the
two
neurons, you will see a gap. So between this gap, you will see the astrocytes, right? So it's oligodendrocytes. So you will see the make myelin protein that insulates the nerve cell axons, and microglia, that immune system surveillance cells, and endothelia that lines the inner wall of the blood vessels. So you will see these are the cells of the cerebral cortex. What are the cells? If you rewind, go back one slide back. Principal cells, interneuron, and causal rectus. Now, if you go with the supporting cells, are astrocytes, oligodendrocytes, and microglia and endothelia. These are the supporting.
Okay.
You understood? There are the principal, and these are the teachers that support the department. One is the head of the department, one is the principal, right?
Okay.
And these are the other staffs of the college. So the other staff are what? They control the communication between the teacher and the principals, right? They influence the metabolism. The glial limiting membrane that covers the brain and produces scaffoldal guides and cortical development. Oligodendrocytes makes myelin protein that insulates nerve cell and axons. So this makes the myelin protein. So the moment the oligodendrocytes are not produced, what will happen? The myelin protein will go down and it will not produce in a better way. And then go to endothelia, cell that lines the inner wall of the blood vessels. So it was a beautiful, beautiful class with you people. You know, who is the biggest donkey of the class? Can you tell me? I'll give him one chocolate if you tell me who's the biggest donkey of the class. Manish, tell me who's the donkey of the class?
No, sir.
Huh? Huh? Who is the donkey of the class?
But we all are donkeys now at present. You are the master
No.
and we are on.
So the one, see. You are giving a wrong definition. The one who takes extra load of all the donkeys is a master donkey. So who is the donkey
No,
of
no,
the
sir.
class? Myself.
No, sir. You are making donkeys to a good and intelligent person.
No. There is nothing. I always
Yes, sir.
admire
This is
donkey.
right.
You know why? No. In India, we always admire donkeys. You know why? Because India is run by donkeys. You know why? You don't know the real definition of donkey. So you call it a what? You give it a wrong definition. I give a definition of donkey as a beautiful definition. Why? 90% of
Mm.
the people in India are not working, and 10% of the people in India are working, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
These
That is right, sir.
10% of the people, they carry the load of 90% of the people, right? If you see, there are so many doctors around the world, but no one is interested to teach you and help me. So what I will tell,
Yeah.
the load
Yes,
of all these people, right from anatomy to the deeper anatomy, the neurology, the neurosurgery, and orthopedics, the deeper orthopedics, the fractures, the bones, the capillaries, the muscles, the transplant surgeries, the different spine surgeries, All load comes to whom?
Yeah, these are facts, sir.
The poor fellow.
Like
The
this.
poor fellow. And that poor fellow is called donkey. Eh?
Like that.
The poor
What you
fellow is
explained,
called
sir,
the
that is fact.
donkey. Huh?
Yeah, it's a fact.
My health is not good, but then it hardly matters to me because my working hours are 22 hours. After some time, you will see there are more than 300, 400 students. My class starts always with 5 or 6 students. You see, day before yesterday, we were only having 25 students. Now it get to 86. After some time, it will become 150, then 300. Again, we have to divide the batch into 2 parts, part A, part B. Then again, you will see 600, then 900. Who will give them fellowship? Who will teach them for free of cost? Even you will not teach me FOC. There is only one person.
Only MK Sastry, sir, in this world.
See, the purpose of knowledge is to good surface area inside your brain so that you can help the society, you can understand things. I don't force you to study so well. I don't force you to do anything. But I only intend is that if you don't understand things properly today, you are going to make mistakes, and each mistake is a heavy payment.
Yeah, it's a fact.
If you are not able to guide, if you don't understand things properly, how will you guide people? How will you understand things? For now, up to this age, you did not understand things. You see, where are you?
Sir, you are
By childhood, if your
doing well,
planning
sir.
was to be a doctor, let us understand. By childhood, if your planning was to be a doctor, you wanted to be this. By now, you would have been a very good specialist. You did not plan out your life properly. So you are hanging between here and there. So now, plan out things properly so that you don't hang between the two veins. Learn properly, understand properly. Whatever mistakes you have done, just seek forgiveness from God and start your new journey in a proper way, proper understanding of knowledge, proper skills, proper tools. And that is why I say you should buy pain. You must understand practicing pain. At least you should try to recover what trigger points and all these things. One by one, if you start doing things, you'll see at the year end you will become a master of the subject. But the problem
Yes.
with you is that what you know, you never invested on your knowledge. You never invested in your clinic. You purchase all sort of things only to please the customer. You never purchase things for what? Improving your skills. You see, I have a vascular anastomosis kit. Tomorrow I'll show you how all the brain surgical kits I have with me. There are capillaries which you have seen. I have those kits by which we hold and we give a what? Switches. So I have the entire brain capillary kits. So we call it vascular
Okay.
anastomosis kit. The diamond forceps, the other forceps I'll show you tomorrow. And then you will understand that if you don't study properly, what will happen? You will reach nowhere because your diagnosis is poor, your understanding is poor. Where will you reach?
Facts.
Just prefixing and suffixing degrees is not good, right?
Yes, sir.
I never suffix any. Did I write? I'm a visiting professor of Zimbabwe University. Did I write professor before my name? Did I write my suffixes? Did I write anything here?
No, sir. No, sir.
Did I write anything? No, I don't
No,
need
sir.
anything to write.
सर
I
से
don't
आपका
write
लेवल
all this
काफी है
suffix and prefix. अब मेरा एमके शास्त्री काफी है बस. कुर्सी आएगी, कुर्सी जाएगी. एमके शास्त्री वहीं रहेगा.
Okay.
I never get attached to these chairs, nothing. I only say the people, love yourself, dedicate yourself. And whatever spare time you have, study please. Study something which will improve your life, the skills,
Yes, sir.
the wisdom,
Yes, sir.
and you will become a good human being. Anything you
Yes,
study,
sir.
whatever you like, all good books are there to guide you. All good slides are there to guide you. Just learn. Vidya vinate vinayat vinay dadati padratam panat tatram dhanat apitam dhanat dharmo tatho sukham. If you want to find the real peace, then you have to understand the real knowledge of it. And when you understand the neurosurgery, when you understand the brain, when you understand the neural communication, then when you understand the complications one by one of the disease and everything, you will admire God like anything. Tell me why we live in such 1.4 kgs of the brain. How much stuff he has given? More than 100 billion neurons he have given. Can you imagine?
Yes, sir.
So many arteries he has given, so many communications he has given, so much capacity he has given inside your brain. And what we have done with that capacity, you see. So I always tell you, write in the group, motivate people, join more people, let them study, let knowledge go house to house. And if knowledge goes, I'm very sure it will be done very good way. I will always say one thing tomorrow. I'm going to try to show you from my Facebook. Please join my Facebook, right? There are various things I publish in my Facebook, right? So all
Okay,
of
sir.
you, please give the links of my Facebook. Those who are in my Facebook, give the link of my Facebook. Join my Facebook. Tomorrow I'm going to show you the one of the finest OT operation theater of India, of Asia.
Okay.
So, but I don't know how to show it in this. I'm very new to laptop. You are. It is same like how you are new to a neuroanatomy. I'm new to laptop. I have come to laptop after 15 years. It is very
Okay.
difficult for me to operate this mouse. I tell you very much. I'm learning this one by one. Today I learned how to open the computer. All this work is done by my house supervisor Sandeep. He's the one who's opening the Zoom, is the one who's opening the WhatsApp, and I'm learning from him. He's a building supervisor, you imagine. He knows more stuff than me. He knows everything. I'm totally dependent on him. After every 20 minutes, I tell him, you come, attach this one. But every day I'm learning, right? Every day I'm learning how to switch on the laptop. Today I've learned how to switch on the laptop. Today I've learned how to operate the mouse. It was very difficult for me. But the moment you start learning and learning, the difficulty goes away. The fear
Yes,
is
sir.
what?
Thanks.
The ignorance of knowledge. The more you learn, the ignorance goes away and the fear says, bye bye. Either you are having, because of the lack of knowledge, because of your lack of understanding, you have fear. Now, for example, someone was telling me, "Would you like to go to the Acupuncture Council of India?" I said, "I will never go there. I have nothing to do with that. I am working with the neural deficits. I am working with the neuro deficits. What I have to do with this meridians? Nothing. That is not my subject. I use some points who are connected with the brain. And my subject is very precise to that location. We call very precise. We say we like Cambian theory of neurosurgery or spine surgery. Those days are gone. When you operate a spine, you cut from T12 to S1, such a big cut you give, you open the entire spine, and then you do number of deficits. Those days are gone. Now it is called MISS, Miss, not Miss, not Mrs., not your wife. It is called Miss,
Miss. Double S.
MISS, Minimal Invasive Spine Surgery.
Okay.
So you will see my photos of MISS in the Facebook. You will encounter various neurosurgeons. You will see them. You talk to them. Benny will come in the class. First, let us make 300 people. Then we will invite. First of all, I invite my teacher. I then Nikunj Mittal, who is your Indian coordinator, is the chairman and HOD of Sardar University. Then from Ahmedabad, doctors will join. Then Venugopal will join. Venugopal Kokha. Then Dr. is one of the biggest liver hospital is there in India. And Asia is called AIG hospital. He is head of the department in neurosurgery. He will join. But we should have numbers. We should not come with just 85 people. Right? Once we have 300 people in this class, lot of people will join. Lot of people will speak to you, Dr. Pawan, Dr. Khoka, and I think once your anatomy is very clear, various diseases are clear, tumors are clear, you will be very well able to understand what they are doing. You will be very much friendly to them. You will be very much knowing to Inamal, my brother, very sweet person, a very good sweet surgeon. Colonel Ramdas, very, very nice person, I tell you, in Kim's Karat. So if you have any problem, anyone have any problem in tumor surgeries, spine surgeries, and they cannot afford much money, you please talk to me. Right? I'll make all the arrangements for the low-cost surgeries in Hyderabad, in anywhere you want, anywhere my support you want. Please let me know. I'll support you. Even in Bareilly, we can get a very good support near UP. There is called Bareilly. We can get your spine surgeries done very nicely without deficit. Patient can walk on the same day. So all those days are gone where big, big stuffs are done. Now people are appreciating only small things in a better way. So if you do all dramas in your clinic, people will run away tomorrow. Because tomorrow is 18. People are very fast communicating. We never imagined in our time we'll be meeting the whole world in one computer also. Tomorrow
It is
something
great,
better
sir.
than Zoom will come. And then tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we'll have one glasses. Right? From this glass, we will be teaching like this. We don't have to operate from here. Oh, glass, open Zoom. Can you see me? Sir, I am finding difficulty in this case. You will see, I am appearing near you, and I'm showing you put the needle here, and you will see me like Avtara. So it is a time which you will see next 2 years. And then you see, now the council is formed. All the BMS, MBBS, MD, orthopedic, neurosurgeons, all are going to practice acupuncture. So you can understand, you have a tough competition
Yes,
in coming time. But if you prepare yourself, there is no competition. If you don't prepare, your what? Your clinic is empty.
yes, sir.
Destruction
Correct, sir.
and creation is destruction and creation is both in your hand. If you say me, I have taught all the orthopedic surgeons, many orthopedic surgeons, spine surgeons, all these methods. So now I'm creating another competitor with you, the higher people. So be careful. Hmm?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thanks, sir.
Thanks for teaching them, and destroying your market. See, my sir
No,
is
no, sir.
thinking me. Thinking me very good. I'll teach more such people and I'll create more competition for you. Are
No, no, sir.
Baba, it is a
We
time
don't
for
want
you.
learning. No, no, sir.
You don't
We are
want
learning, sir.
competition
No for
only bring
competition.
excellence. Competition
No,
bring
sir.
excellence, Baba. Always remember, competition bring excellence.
That is also true,
Whatever
sir.
is best in you will come only when you come in the field of competition. Otherwise, when there is no competition, there is no excellence. You will have no practice. You will be a lazy mind and a dull mind. So to become a better mind, better thoughts, associate more people, bring more people. We are not asking money. Did
No, sir.
people associated. Then we'll divide the class into 2 parts. Then we'll divide into 3 parts. Let everyone associate. All the people are in the group. Let us see how many positive things you can write. Motivating others is motivating yourself. Only there are 2 things in the world. Either you are self-motivated or you are demotivated. If you are demotivated, you destroy your life, full of fear and uncertainty. And if you are fearless, that means you have a good knowledge, good skills, and no one can defeat you. You see, I purchased good camera, good lights. Now I'm purchasing the digital board. After next time, our class is next level. Then we are going to the next level. And then we are going to the next level. So after some time, I'm not going to teach you on the laptop, right? I'll be teaching where? The digital board, in the televisions, right? So
Okay.
you have to be what?
What, sir?
Use your time, study, and be better forever. And that is what I say.
Yes, sir.
Be better for ever.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Once you become better forever. Not you are better for today or tomorrow. Forever you become a better. So slides are with you.
Okay, sir.
Remember what
Okay,
slide
sir.
we have taught today. Tomorrow also I'll take the class. Let it be Sunday, let it be Monday. What should we do? Why to waste one time also?
Great, sir.
We'll
Thank you.
have class Monday to Sunday. Monday to Sunday we'll have our classes. Those who want to attend, let them attend. Those who don't want to attend, let them not attend. You know?
Inshallah,
All is
Sastry
up
ji.
to you, what you want. So Walid,
Yes, Sastry ji.
let us finish our class with your prayers. We always appreciate your prayer. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allah Rahim, Ya Kareem, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahim. Start your prayers.
Yes, Sastry ji.
Sir, very informative class, sir.
أعوذ
Very
بالله من الشيطان
Walid,
الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد يا الله يا حي يا قيوم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام يا أحد يا صمد يا هو الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد Ya Allah, bless this knowledge. We have embarked on another journey by your permission and by your will. By your direction, we have embarked on this journey, seeking knowledge to better ourselves, to better our lives and the lives of millions of people who will come across us, to better our lives of those who are yet to come and those who will learn from us. This knowledge that Sastry Ji is giving to us for free. Ya Allah, we all know that we cannot afford to pay him. For if he was going to charge us what is charged for such knowledge around the world, none of us will be in this class today. His knowledge is priceless, and we thank you, Allah, for making us among those who will get this knowledge. Make it useful to us, and give us the selflessness that you have blessed Sastry with, that we will share this knowledge within ourselves as colleagues and those who work together in seeking the best
Ameen.
for humanity, and share this knowledge
Ameen.
with other people who would come up. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim,
Ameen.
make this knowledge useful to us above all other things that would be used in our practice. Let the want to heal and bring comfort to others be a priority in life over the want to make money from them. Bless us with the skills and the knowledge. Bless us with the ways and the abilities to attain and use those tools we will need for this journey. It is a long journey. This class will be for 1 year. Bless all of us here with the resources to be able to afford to be in the class. These resources include, Ya Allah, but are not limited to having our phones or our laptops working, having the money to pay for the internet connection, having the money to feed our families and make sure our mind is at peace while we are learning. For those whose minds are with unrest, do not learn very well. A lot of us have come into this class at an age where we have much responsibilities. Make it easy for us, Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, Ya Dal Jalali wal Ikram. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا سبحانك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. Thank you, Sastry Ji. Over to you. Hello, Sastry.
Great souls of the universe. May they make this path easier for us. May they give enough wisdom and may they give us human resources thus that we can feed our family. And at night when we come, we have enough energy to sit and study. May our path to study and serve the society becomes better. And nothing becomes obstacle to us, neither jealousy nor greediness. We should learn with peace, prosperity, honesty, and dedication. And I'm sure God is with you, my child. God was always with you. Have faith in Him. He have brought me to the hardest test, and yet I found the test was given by Him, the examiner was He, the examinee was He. I was just the one, witness of the game. So Walid Mukarim is my old friend. He has been reciting his prayers with us from last 9 years or 10 years. So after some time, we have a Paris priest from Philippines. He's a reverend, my student. And I was also a Paris priest of the church. And I was also a Paris and a Hindu priest. So I performed both my rituals Paris priest, the priest of the church. So I always pray for your well-being. I always pray that you become a good human being. Let us all have a beautiful journey. I'm very happy. Whenever Walid is with me, I believe that my brother and my father is with me. He makes my things very, very easy. From 9 years, imagine he has given me money for the pain 1 year back. Still, we are not finding a courier for him. And I always say him, I'll refund your money. He will say, Inshallah, sir. One day some road will come out. Let us have faith in God. And this
Inshallah,
belief
sir.
in Him and Allah gives me a strong faith to do my research, to do my work. And I still work 22 hours a day. And early after some time, you will see we'll be having our classes up to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I'm just putting you step by step, one step at a time. So when you are at the third floor, you will see it will be like a college class, the night college, right?
Yes, sir.
So now you can prepare yourself for the night college. So when we go with the higher neurology courses, orthopedic courses, radiology courses, we have to cover a large number of syllabus. We have to complete around 9 super specialty subjects. How many? 9 super specialty
Nice.
subjects. Yeah, neurosurgery, orthopedic plastic surgery, the bone marrow stem cells, the stem cell therapy, the what nonsense we don't know. We are going to study because right now it is nonsense because we don't know what is this. But I'm sure at the end of the day, everything is sensible, everything is that. Kaka cheshta bako dhyanam sanindra tathe vacha alpahari gratyagi nam vidyarthino panch lakshanam. So the student has 5 qualities. He tries like a crow. He meditates like a crane, right? If you see a crane, he the moment it gets a fish, he catches it. Then calm this time. You should sleep like a dog, very attentive and with a small sound, very intelligent. Anything may bring awareness in you. And Alpahari, eat less. Alpahari, Grihatyagina, don't attach too much with your worldly activities. And this is called Vidyarthino. So with these 5 qualities, I bless all of you with my deeper feelings. May Allah bless you all. May Allah bring fine knowledge, wisdom, and skills in you. And may Vasudev Sutam Devam Kansa Charu Vardhanam Devki Nandam Parma Vande Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. So it is said the Guru of the world is only Krishna. Only Krishna knows what he is. Vasudev Sutam Devam Kans Charur Vardhanam. Kans and like Rakshasas, he has killed. Devki Nandam, Devki ka putra. Devki Nandam Parmaya. Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. He is the Guru of all. May his knowledge comes to you. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. Guru Sakshat Param Brahm. Tasmai Sri Guru Veda. Let my teacher, IP chair and all, bless you. Where the number comes, this is the beginning. The journey is very beautiful. We are going from Nigeria to Malaysia to France to Italy to and every country of the world. People will like to share. Wait, my friends from Cambodia to Vietnam to Japan to Mauritius to Malaysia, all neurosurgeons will be teaching you. I don't know. I'm just preparing you for the hot class. So be prepared, well understood. When they teach in the class, you can understand what they are teaching. teach from the orthopedic point of view, teach from the neurosurgical point of view. And once you learn, you become better forever in your life. No one can defeat you. Knowledge is supreme. And knowledge is egoless. There is no ego in knowledge. Only there is love, affection, and wisdom. So be happy.
Yes.
So these are orientation classes. Real classes will become after some time. Try to associate as many as people can you in the group. Make it enlarged. Bring good people. Learn. The society is very good. We leave this society as a better place before we leave. Maybe this is the last fellowship class of my life. After this class is completed, I planned for some other things in my life. We called in Jainism Santhara. So we are planning for fast run to that. Once my responsibilities are over, I hand over this baton to you. I'm supposed to retire. And the time for our retirement has come. For you to overtake our chair has come. Study, grow, and be a better human being. Let this world be a better place for the coming generation by the knowledge you impart to your children, to your society, to the people who come to you. Let Allah hear our prayers and make our life ease and comfortable. And may the God, in the name of Lord Jesus, we pray, let things be happen in His name. So to the name of the Father, to the Son, and the Christ, we pray that let things happen in His name, to the mercy and the grace of the Lord. Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sastry ji.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Namaste, sir.
Thank you, Sastry ji.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
My
Good
only
night,
request is
everyone.
please record the classes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good night, sir.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1
One
minute, 1
minute.
minute, 1
1
minute.
minute.
Just record the classes and put in YouTube and put in the group because it is very difficult for me. I don't have any such knowledge right now how to record the classes. Put a group link and then how to do this, I do not know. You do only the first thing you do, you record
Yes.
the class and send it to Prakash Jain. Prakash Jain will upload you. Huh?
Okay, I can give him a link. I will send it to him and I can put it, I'll share also either on my Google Drive or my YouTube. I'll share to all the
You can
links.
put in your YouTube and any wherever you want to put, you put and share the
I'll
links
put the
because
links
people
in the
were
group.
asking me about the YouTube.
Inshallah, once
Yes,
it
yes, yes.
finishes setting itself up on the system after this class, I'll
So
upload
try
it.
to upload
Yes.
try to upload every day videos every day, right?
Inshallah, Sastry ji. Just like during COVID, 10
Yeah.
hours a day, inshallah, we will get there.
Yeah, we will work 10 hours a day, but not 10 hours a day. Otherwise, the students will run away. Baba, it is not a COVID time. They have to go to office now.
It's all right, Sastry ji.
If
So
I
have a
say
good,
about 10 hours, we'll just go for 5 hours,
yes,
5 to 6 hours. And every time we will get one new neurosurgeon from one part of the country, of the
okay,
world.
Sastry ji. Inshallah.
We have association of 16 neurosurgeons. Inshallah, this time we will do the target.
We'll get there. It's a
Let
bit,
300
we
students
have 1 year
associate
to go.
and we'll start. It's just a beginning. I've started, but this is not the end. The whole entire Karat will be with you. KIMS Medical College is with you. The surgeons of KIMS and all other neurosurgeons from India, Venugopal, Khoka, Lakshmi Nath, all are with you. Just we have to collect numbers of 300 people. I can invite them today also, but it never looks good. Let them their knowledge be with 300 people, 400 people, right?
Yes, we're getting there, Sastry ji.
So write good things in the classroom, motivate people. And what is his name? Surya Narayan Dasi. Jai Jagannath.
Sir, namaskar, sir.
Jai Jagannath.
Jai Jagannath.
Jagannath Prabhu tamche अच्छा रखो. आओ सूर्य रात को. Right. Thank you so much. Manas, my teacher also is Uriya. Subodh Raju and Manas Panigrahi. They are
Yes, sir.
Uriya. And all my working staff is Uriya staff. I always keep Uriya people. They are very nice people.
I'm residing now here, sir, in Hyderabad, sir. Now I'm residing in
But
Hyderabad.
but my heart is still in Odisha. I was in Odisha, Bhubaneswar and Cuttack. My heart is still in Odisha. I am born up in different part, but my spare parts are in different parts. So my heart is in Odisha, my body is in Hyderabad, my brain is in Karat, and my legs are in Assam because I used to work always in Assam, moving one district to one district, and it's a beautiful journey with the company. Thank you so much. Subhadratri, Shapake. Allah Rahim, Allah
Thank you,
Kareem.
sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. So you're
Thank
not
you, sir.
feeling well. Take a
Thank you, sir.
rest. You're not feeling.
I'm ending the class, right? Thank you so much.
You're not
Good
feeling
night.
Okay,
well, sir.
Sastriji,
Take
you
rest.
can end the class now.
I'm ending the class right now. Okay.
Okay.
Anything you want to ask? Any questions?
No, sir.
Post
No.
questions in the group so that Sastriji can answer in the next class. If there are any questions
I
for this
don't put
class,
so much questions. You can ask me questions, Baba. It becomes very difficult. Once
it's
I
not
get
problem.
150 MRIs, then again I have to write so much question
Yes,
answers. So
no
one thing you
problem.
can do, you ask your questions
When they
here
ask,
and
we
don't
shall
write
try
in the
to
chat
answer.
box. 1 minute. Walid, tell them
Yes,
how
sir.
to write the questions in the chat box. I
Not
cannot
in the
see
chat
like this,
box.
right?
No, not on the chat box. In the group, you can put some
You
questions
write
and we
you
will
ask
try.
directly.
Yes, and we will
You
streamline
write
them to
directly.
see which questions are on the same topic, and answers will be given, inshallah.
Answers will be given, and also when you come to this Zoom class, don't write in the chat box, right? I cannot see in the chat box. Earlier I could see, but because of my glasses, it becomes like this. I have to read like this. I have to read like this. So don't. I become old man, right? So don't write in the chat box, right? So whatever you want to ask, you ask me, right? So with your kind permission, I'm taking the class. Sat Sri Akal,
Yes, sir, you can
Sardarji.
shut down, sir.
सरदार जी सत श्री अकाल जी वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी दी फतेह जी फतेह जी फतेह
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir ji.
वाहिगुरु जी दी फतेह तक तक फतेह जी फतेह
Thank you, sir. Take rest, sir. आपकी तबीयत ठीक नहीं लग रही है. आज आराम कीजिएगा, sir.
आराम क्या मेरी 22 घंटे की ड्यूटी मेरा ससुर करेगा जो अभी ऊपर है
Sir, take rest, sir. हमारे लिए चिंता
No,
करें.
see, one thing I tell you, my body will take rest only. Guru Gobind Singh Ji said, Dev Shiva Mohe Subh Karmante Kabo na daru jab na daru jab aadi. The body is a fragile. It has to die today. Why should I waste my time on sleep? I have to work day and night
Sir, you to
so
live.
that the world becomes a better place before I die.
Inshallah,
live.
Sastriji.
जिंदगी बनानी है अभी आपको, sir.
अरे कुछ नहीं होगा साला 7 हार्ट अटैक में कुछ नहीं हुआ 10 में क्या हो जाएगा वाहिगुरु की बड़ी महर है कुछ नहीं होता 7 हार्ट अटैक में कुछ नहीं हुआ 10 में you will see me after some time in the ICU and then you will see me back it is always like ICU is my home second home I go I take rest again I come and take the class next day of the discharge you will see me in the class
Really,
it is always with me
ठीक है, sir. End करते हैं. Thank
You
you
can
very
end the
much,
class
sir.
now, Sastriji.
we can close the class
Have a great night, sir.